Computer.
Four.
Welcome to the Redemption Dynasty team call. It is August 4th. Y'all, I cannot believe it's August in all reality. August. I can't believe it's August. All the fun things are happening. I am going to, mute you guys so that you can hear me. I'm not going to share my screen, but I'm going to talk about the leaderboard just because sharing my screen makes my computer run slower. But on the leaderboard, we have me at Success Club 2, and then I think that's it right now, unless anybody has sold challenge packs recently or completion packs recently. I also updated, if you have not seen, I've updated all roadmaps as of today, like this afternoon. So that could have changed since then, but I have not looked. So check those out to see where you're at in life. I wanted to shout out Michelle. I typed this up, but I just need to, y'all need to know this. She was giving birth, right? Like literally in the hospital about to give birth. Hold on. So what was she? She texted me or Instagram me, and she was like, hey, I'm in the hospital. I'm about to have a baby, but I do just want to let you know that my friend has all my Instagram account information, and she's ready to post when things are ready, like when she gets the go ahead when Nash was born. And I was like mind blown because I don't know if I would have done that. So I just give her all the props. I want to shout her out for not completely disappearing. I know that her life looks a little bit different, and she's not always sharing her workouts, but she's making sure that she's still showing up on social media so that her people know she didn't disappear, and definitely made a point to go out of her way when she was literally giving birth to a child. So shout out to her. I think that's literally amazing and insane. She's killing it. So she's coach of the week, but you see Nash because he's really cute. Caitlin has been a discount coach since Lift 4, which was Anise, when did Lift 4 come out? October? I think, yeah. Discount coach since October, and then she started coaching this year, January, February, officially ish, somewhere around there. I'd have to ask her something like that. Only a couple months. She is very similar to you, Rosemary, obviously, so she has a passion for health and fitness. So she's kind of hit and rocked off. She's going to hit diamond real soon. If you saw her roadmap, so if we all can clap for her and get real excited, because she is going to hit diamond really, really, really freaking soon. She is a coach and 2 emeralds away. One of those emeralds will be her boyfriend, Jason. So she personally can control 3 of the coaches, like her and the 2 under her boyfriend. And then she has a working coach on the other leg right now. So we got to see, or she needs to recruit some more working coaches. But I totally believe for the working coach, you might know Rosemary, is Alyssa Jackson. She totally could hit 2 at any moment. So we'll see. But yeah, clap for her because she's super duper close to diamond, which is a huge freaking deal. And her life is crazy too. Sorry, Katie just texted me. All right. We're going to talk about no. So hearing no, about being ghosted, about that whole rejection, pretty much is the idea of this call. And so I want you guys to post in the chat how many times you told me no, whether that is to be a coach, whether it was to join just the boot camp. How many times did you tell me no? 2 to 4 times. Or how long, if you can't remember how long, or how many times, if you were like, oh, I told you no for this many months or something. I hope we saw 3 months for workouts and coaching. How long did you tell me no for coaching? I want that one too. 8 months, y'all. 8 months. Anise drove me friggin' nuts. I just need to put that out there. Because Anise, you guys have all been in a challenge group with Anise. Anise is a leader in general, And so in our challenge groups, Anise literally was going live in my challenge groups talking about Shakeology. Like, she went live sharing her recipe, why she loves Shakeology, talking about why her son drinks Shakeology, like how she is breastfeeding and drinking Shakeology and all the, because she is like a Shako like fanatic, okay? And would not coach. Like, wouldn't coach. And I was so mad because I was like, this woman, like, she just knows all the freaking things and she would not coach. Caitlin, I don't know if you can hear me, but if you can hear me, in the chat, if you can write how many times you told me no would be cool too. No to like the workouts or no to coaching. You told me no to coaching forever too. Look back, I don't think you can see it. Yeah, you, Lacey, also told me no for a while. Point being, all of y'all told me no. Like, I just need to put that out there, that I need to remind y'all that, like, I think that you guys are people, not really necessarily any of you. People look at me or their coach, because I find myself doing this with Kate all the time, and I'm like, well, no one tells her no. Like, no one, like, she doesn't have the struggles that I have. Like, y'all, all of you on this call told me no a bajillion times. And I like followed up with you, or I talked to other people, and like, I didn't quit when you told me no. And so I just need you to remember that, like, I didn't quit on you. So like, don't quit on your people, right? Like, that is like the heart of this issue, or heart of this talk is going to be like, don't let a no get you down, because like, you're gonna hear no. You're gonna get ghosted. You're gonna get objections. You're gonna, quote unquote, I'm gonna say fail in like parentheses here, because I think that we so often see other people and we see their success and not their failures, right? Like, I don't post on here how many times a day people tell me no, and maybe I should. Or how many times people ghost me, or how many times people get a share cart and never complete it. Like, I don't post those things, but then you guys see Success Club numbers, or you see new challengers, or you see whatever it is that you're seeing. We see other people's successes and not their failures. But what we forget is that failures are not the opposite of success. Failures are a step towards success. They are a doorway, an entryway. They're a doorway and entryway into success. Failure is not the opposite. I literally just listened to Keisha Fitzgerald. I don't know if you watch Empower Her or listen to Empower Her podcast. If you don't, do it. They're really short, and she just talked about failure. And I was like, yes, preach. Like, I think so often we get scared to do something. So I'm going to stick with like inviting type of mode here. But we get so scared to invite or to follow up because we're scared of failing. And in this case, I'm going to say failing is hearing no, getting ghosted, sending share carts and being told no, getting interest, but like whatever, anything that is not signing up. So we get so scared of failure that we don't even try. And I think that a huge part of that is because we say, well, what if I fail? So I'm going to just kind of clear this air right here and tell you that you're going to fail. You're going to fail. There's no what if. Like, there is zero what if. You are going to fail. And I think that if we can get this in our head that we are going to fail, that it makes it a little less scary. So I was talking about this with Ken just a little bit ago. And I was like, Ken, I'm having a very hard time keep thinking of content for this call because I am not scared to invite people, or I'm not scared of a no or a rejection or whatever. Like, those don't bother me anymore because I've done it so much. I hear it all the time. But what I know that I think is hard to learn is that after every no that I get is one more closer to a yes. Every rejection that I get is one more rejection closer to meeting somebody where they're at, whether that's with that person. So like Anise, so say I invited her to coaching about 7,000 times. Then on that 6,999th time, I knew I was one more closer to that 700,000 time or whatever, 7,000 time. So like, even if it's up with that one person or it's with a different person, like maybe Anise is just not for her right now, but Rosemary's going to say yes tomorrow. You don't know, but you know you are closer. Like every no, every rejection gets you one step closer to a yes with that person or with somebody else. And I really think that we need to go into the mindset of inviting into conversations without expectations. And I think that this was really hard for me to come up with, because I don't want you to think that you have low expectations, because I think that you need to realize how big this business can be and what this business can do for you. I need you to see that big picture, but I also need you to know that sending 20 invites today is not going to get you your dream job. Sending 30 invites today is not going to let you quit your job. Sending, or whatever that goal is for you, pay for your Shakeology, or I don't know, change so many lives, or hit the next rank, or whatever it is that is in your head right now that you're like, ooh, this is what I want to do next. You cannot control whether somebody says yes or no. You can control how many invites you send, but you can't control that. And I think back to when I started as a coach. And when I came into this business, I'm going to be really honest with you, I didn't believe in it. I came into this business, I literally thought it was a scam, but I thought I had nothing to lose. Like, I didn't think that I was going to lose money. I was just like, whatever, like, I already buy my shakes anyway. I really would like some friends. Like, all right, cool, I'll do it. But I had very low expectations. Not that I thought that I could, like, it's not that I didn't believe in myself. I just didn't understand. And so then Kate was like, here are the things you need to do. And I was like, all right, cool. But I didn't have very big expectations, but I was like, all right, like, cool, I'll do those. She set some goals for me, and I was like, all right. She was like, hit Success Club and hit Emerald. And I was like, all right. And I just like did whatever she told me to do and had like very little expectation. So my emotion wasn't tied to every invite that I sent. I just was like sharing my story because I enjoyed it and I believed in the company. I knew that if you worked out and ate well, that you're going to get results. And I 1000% believed in that. And so I was like, all right, I'm going to share my story and I'm going to just like invite these people because that's what Kate said to do. And then like a week later, I hit Success Club 10. And I'm not saying like you're always going to hit in a week, but I'm just saying like I wasn't stressed. I didn't have my emotion or my outcome tied to the invites. I just was like, all right, like I'm going to share this and it's going to be cool. And if these people say no, like cool, like you're lost, like sucks, moving on. Like I literally had no emotion. But what I see so often in so many coaches, whether they're new coaches or old coaches, I see so often, yeah, thank you, next, seriously. I see so often that people are like, they pour their heart and soul into this like 2-paragraph invite or whatever, and they're so excited and they're like, this is everything that I have to offer to you. And then somebody says they're interested, and then 2 seconds later they ghost them because, I don't know, their child started crying and they had to run away, or they got nervous, or they just forgot to answer you, or whatever the reason is, the human just stopped talking to you. And then they take it personally. Today at a training, listen, I'm so implementing this, so just so y'all know, yesterday at a training, they had this like code word for staff when they were talking to children, and it was Q-tip, like, and it literally stands for quit taking it personally. And I literally want to scream Q-tip at all of y'all, like, and I need y'all to scream it at me, because I think that so often we take like a rejection or a no so freaking personally, like they hate you. And that is not the case. Like, it is literally not. Like, it could be that their child was screaming. Like, it has nothing to do with you. It could be that they're scared they're going to fail. Again, has nothing to do with you. 97% of the time, like, people say no, has nothing to do with you. So I want you guys to write down in this box, my little chat box, why, one of the reasons you told me no. What was one of the reasons you told me no to coaching, or you told me no to joining the boot camp? I don't care which one. Why'd you tell me no? Money. That's pretty common. Coaching, failure. Lifting, you were injured. Money is very common. Let's see what Lacey's frozen. I hope that it comes through. How many of you were like, I'm not going to do this because I don't like Teresa? Like, or I can't believe that she asked me, so I'm just going to tell her no. Like, did Beachbody before, and it was money, and then didn't want to commit. Like, yeah, like none of those things have anything to do with me. Like literally at all. And it could even be, didn't see your messages, money. Like, Caitlin said she did Beachbody before. And so like she may have, and I don't think this was true with Caitlin. Caitlin specifically did have, I think she had good experiences with Beachbody, but she was doing like a program, and didn't have like a coach, but like her previous experience with Beachbody, it had nothing to do with me as a human. It was just maybe what she experienced with Beachbody, but like it wasn't personal. You guys all told me no a bajillion times, but none of it was because of me. But yet every time somebody tells us no, we're like heartbroken. But it literally has nothing to do with you. And then we try to fix it. Like, it must be my problem. It must be my fault. What can I do to make these people say yes? Y'all, you cannot make somebody say yes. Oh my goodness, go. You can't make somebody say yes. Like, I need to say that 700 times. You cannot make somebody say yes. Like, it's not your job. I am not asking you to go, I don't know, harass humans into joining your boot camp. Like, if they don't want to do it, then like, okay, like move on. Like, it's not personal, it's their thing. And something that somebody said to me that I think literally blew my mind. What's his YES spell? What are you doing? Something that literally blew my mind was, they were talking about sharing a testimony. So sharing your story with Jesus or whatever. And he was like, you can share your testimony with two people at lunch. Like the same, you're at lunch. They both hear you say the same words because you're just like, this is my story, right? And you're sharing your story and your experience. And you're just like sharing your heart. One person could walk away and give their life to Jesus right then and there. And one person could walk from the table and get wasted and like totally disregard Jesus, you know, like, and I think that's the same thing with our invites. And he was like, this literally has nothing. So like they both heard the same words, right? Like they both heard the same exact story at the same exact time in the same exact place, you know, like your voice didn't sound different. All the factors were the same except their story. What was different was their story, the way they heard the story, the way the timing of it in their life and where they were ready to go and to be led and what they needed for them. Hi, Charles. It was all about them. And so I think we need to remember that when we invite, because so often I'm like, all right, like Rosemary, your invite is awesome. Stick with it, right? And then like you send 20 invites and they all tell you no, but then you're like, oh, it must be me. So you rearrange your invite and share different information. And then you do 20 more, it doesn't work, and you rearrange your invite again. And I'm like, but you had a solid invite, or you had a solid story. As I think a story is huge too. You guys all have very individual stories. But sometimes we share our story one way and it doesn't resonate, meaning you don't result in a sale. And then you get nervous and you're like, well, maybe I need to share something else. Like, no. You can share your story well and true, the same way over and over and over, because it's gonna impact people where they're at when the timing is right for them. Like when it's their time. No does not mean no forever. No means no for now. Like it literally, I think that's my favorite saying in the world. No doesn't mean no forever. It's no for now. I don't want you guys, like all of y'all, if I stopped inviting you when you told me no, none of you would be here. Y'all, I wouldn't have a team. None of you. Like, I'd be all by myself, living my life. Like, maybe you would do some workouts, but like, I would not have a team. I would be here all by myself. And like, when I think about things like that, I'm like, wow, like I would have never known Lacey ever. Like or like a niece, like we would have never crossed paths, or even like Rosemary and Caitlin, like we've known each other, but like we would have never got reconnected, or we would have never like done life like this. Like I talk to you guys so much more now, which is super cool. Like, and I'm like, the people that are in my life now, like if I would have stopped asking, if I would have stopped inviting, if I would have just quit because things were hard, because people told me no, because I quote failed, this wouldn't be here. And I look at all the people that you guys have also impacted. So like Katie. So Katie is an amazing example to me because Katie is like my baby sister. So I have been coaching now since March of 2018. I've been coaching for that long, and Katie just started this summer, which is really, really cool. And so I watched her gain all this like confidence, and me, I'm like, wow, I've positively impacted like my family. And then the other day, her mom jumped in, and I literally wanted to cry. Her mom like raised me, like real life. Like my mom has 2 best friends, and her mom Shelly is one of them. Like best friends. She's raised me since Nathaniel was 3. Nathaniel's now 22. So they are like my family. And so I look at like if I would have given up because somebody told me no, which is gonna happen because somebody, if I would have slowed down even, Shelly wouldn't have started working out. And y'all, you don't even know how much this is about to change her life. Like if I could even like explain like what this is gonna do for her, I don't even know how. Like to that her daughter is her accountability partner, that her now whole household. I watch her brother work out with her. The mindset change. I'm like, if I would have said no, that would have never happened. Like if I would have quit because I felt discouraged or because I felt overwhelmed, like, and those words drive me insane because I get that there are feelings, but you give them power. When we voice them, when we sit and mull in this like discouragement, and we count the no's in our life and we count the rejections, like, y'all, like 9 times out of 10 people, we are gonna like get super, super down on ourselves about the no's or the failures or the bad and barely celebrate the good. We're gonna be like, I sent 75 invites today and nobody joined me and it's all my fault and what can I do different and blah, 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 blah. But then say, I sell a challenge pack. I'll say, okay, now I need to sell 2 more. Why does your brain want to keep doing that? Why would your brain want to keep doing something that you beat yourself up over and over and over about? But the second you do something well, sell a challenge pack, which like in the end of the day, like we've talked about this, is not the end goal, right? You know, like we're not all about like selling something, but like selling the challenge pack in the second is your win. And you're like, yeah, I didn't do enough. Why does your brain want to keep showing up? Fun fact, it's not gonna. Like, you're gonna want to quit. You're gonna hate me. You're gonna be like, why the heck did Teresa make me do this? Like, I was talking to Rosemary the other day, and she was like, y'all, not gonna lie, I love all of my challengers. And she was like so excited talking about all her clients. And I'm like, that is why Rosemary is being successful. Not because she's saying just the right things, not because she's like, I don't know, some magical unicorn that just like woke up and everybody wanted to hang out with. Like, she gets so excited about the highs and isn't letting the lows discourage her. And I think that we need to do the same thing. Like, the lows are going to happen. Kiara, come here. The lows are going to happen. The no's are going to happen. The rejection's going to happen. We just have to be able to fail forward and move on. Like, we can't spend more than 2 seconds thinking about those things. We just got to think about the next yes. And literally, when we get that next yes, we need to like throw a party. Like, it's the first time. And some of you, it will be the first time and you will be super excited. Some of you, it'll be like your like 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th time, 100th time. And you need to throw a party. Y'all, when I sell a challenge pack or a completion pack now, I still get goosebumps. And I still get excited. When somebody says, yes, they're ready to jump in, like I literally dance. Like I jump up and down. And even, y'all, when you guys do things, I was talking to Rihanna and I literally was jumping up and down. And I was like, oh my goodness, I'm just so excited for you. Like, or I'll like call Mackenzie and I'll be like, oh, so-and-so just texted me and they're whatever's going to sign up or they're getting their CBC started. And like, I get so excited. So like, because I'm so excited, I want to keep showing up because I'm not letting myself if you want to be negative and throw like a pity party all the time, I'm going to tell you, you're going to quit. You're going to, because it's not fun. Why would you keep showing up, right? Like, you've got to keep showing up and not letting the no slow you down because you're going to get them, but that doesn't mean you're not going to get a yes. It's just not now. And, I'm going to go back to this escalator mentality, which Anise, like you've probably heard 7,000 times. If you've ever walked up a down escalator and we think about like our goal or our whatever at the top of that escalator. Stop. Hold on, please hold. Go. At the top of that escalator, whatever it is you want, whether it's the yes or it's something you want to sell or it's, I don't know, to pay for your Shakeology or quit your job, whatever's at the top of that escalator, if we are just like, if we stop, so we start to walk up the escalator, you know, and you have to make all this like power to actually start going up the down escalator because it's going backwards. And then somebody tells you no, and you stop. Or even you slow down. So let's pretend you slow down so you're not making as much progress or you're staying in the same space. And then somebody else ghosts you and you slow down a little bit more and it's bringing you, it's bringing you down, but you're not all the way back just yet, right? Like, and then somebody else ignores your share cart and you're like, oh my goodness, I can't do this. And you just stand still for a minute. If you stand still for a minute on a down escalator that you're trying to go up on, what happens? It's going to bring you all the way back down to the base. And now for every time you stop, every time you get discouraged, every time you get, you slow down, you now have to work at least twice as hard to get back to where you are. At least, if not more. And so I tell this story all the time. Because I just need y'all to know, like I always talk about my why. And I always say when I lost my why and I stopped showing up for my why and I was sending all the invites, I was doing all the things, but I had no why. I wasn't hitting Success Club and I had no idea why. At that point, I had hit Success Club 10 every month. And I was so confused because I was just doing it before. And I'm like, I don't understand why it's just not happening. And I had just lost that why. And I had done the things, but I was just slowly going back down to my escalator. And by the time I figured out what was wrong, I was at the base and it took me weeks to rebuild. By the time Kate and I were like had a heart to heart and talked about what was really wrong and what I wasn't really doing, it took me weeks to get back up to where I was, just to get where I was, like not even to like make progress. So if y'all are on this escalator and you are stopping every single day, you are never getting anywhere because you're going to have to work twice as hard to get where you were, and where you were wasn't good enough last time because you kept telling yourself you weren't good enough there, and then you're going to get discouraged all over again and have to go back to the bottom of the escalator. Like, you cannot let no's get to your head. And I'm going to tell you that if you're letting no's get to your head, you need to do more PD. And that's the end of it. Like, you need to do more PD. You need to be reading more. You need to be in doing your workouts. So those are like my two things. If you need to be doing your PD and getting results in your workouts and working on you. If every time you get a no, you're like in tears and upset, like, we need to go back to the home base and get you excited again. You cannot let little discouragement, little like no's let you down. You have to 10x things and say, like, I choose not to let the no slow me down. So I'm going to invite twice as much because I know eventually I'm going to hit that yes. I know that when I impact somebody, when I get to my yes, that person needs this so much that I'm not going to stop. So like Rosemary said the other day, like when she started, I think it was her sister and her cousin, she was like, I want these two people to start this journey. And so I think about things like that. If you have people in your life that you're like, I would love so-and-so to do this. Imagine if it took you, like if you knew you needed to get 700 no's in order for your sister or your cousin or your husband or your brother or your whoever to say yes, would you go through those 600 no's? Like if you knew the number, would you do it? So often we just don't know. Kiara, come here. Sorry, the litter box is over there. And so I opened the door because the cat was barking because she wanted out, but the litter box is over there. So often we just don't know how many no's it's going to take. Have you guys seen that picture of the guy hammering through the dirt to get to the diamonds? You know what I'm talking about? No? Okay, you do, because Kate's shared it at least once. So there's two guys. It's like a comic. There's two guys. So the top guy is like hammering and chiseling away, and he's like all the way to like the end. And then there's this like new guy that like just started, And the guy that's all the way to the end, he literally has like this much more dirt, and then there's this huge pile of diamonds. He's discouraged and he's walking away, like he's given up. But this new guy is like at it, you know, like he's gonna keep going. And like I think that that's just how a lot of times things happen. We don't realize how close we are to something. We give up and we let that escalator bring us right back down to the bottom, and then we have to work so much harder to get to where we just were. And I just think that we need to remember that the yes is going to be worth it, and that it's probably closer than you think, but it's only going to get farther away if you let yourself be discouraged. And you guys need to be able to like affirm your discouragement, because I don't want you to be like, you're not going to be happy when people ghost you, right? You're not going to like throw a party. Like you might be sad, or you might be like discouraged. I really hate that word, so I don't really want to say that word. But you need to come up with affirmations such as, every time I send an invite, I'm getting closer to a yes. Every time I send an invite, I am building relationships. This invite is going to change somebody's life someday. This, like, I need you to have affirmations that are true, that you can tell yourself when you're like kind of upset, when you're like just discouraged, when you're unsure why you're showing up. I need you to have a list of things, because you are going to get that yes. You just have to show up. Like, and we have, you know, the things, like you do. You need to get results. If you're not getting results, that's your first focus. That means like whatever results look for you. Those could be mental, those could be physical, those could be whatever that looks like for you. You need to get results. You need to share your journey. So if you're not sharing your journey, you know, you need to do that. You need to read PD, and you need to be like in your challenge groups and stuff like that. Like, you know what you need to do, but you just got to do it. Kiara, come here. And you just like cannot, I don't, like, I can't, you just can't let no's discourage you. Like, I don't know how many times to say that. Like, it literally, I just like was talking to Mackenzie, and I was like, y'all, like, you just have to get over it. You just have to do it so much that you're not scared of it anymore. Like, we always talk about how fear runs in the face of action. Y'all, if you are told no like 75 times a day, are you going to be scared of a no? We were talking about this with teaching. So Anise teaches special ed, so she's going to feel me in this. So like, let's say running naked. Okay, my children strip naked and run through my room. Okay, that's not normal. Like, you know, like if Rosemary came into my classroom and naked children were running around, she would look at me like, what in the world? Aren't you gonna fix this? Yeah, like, but like she would, because that doesn't happen at her job. Children don't run around naked, or like throwing desks or biting, things that I'm like, those are normal to me, right? Like, I mean, because those things happen all the time. Yeah, Rosemary would die because it doesn't happen. Or Caitlin, I mean, Caitlin has probably worked a little bit with some of my kids, but like, you know, if you guys walked into my room, you would be like, what in the world? Like, why is this happening? And you might even like kind of like, if, let's pretend Rosemary was hired as my paraprofessional and all the kids were running around naked and biting and throwing chairs. Like, Rosemary's, yeah, exactly. That's exactly. Rosemary's going to say she's going to quit. She's going to be like, what? Bye. But if Rosemary grew up with an ASD brother that stripped naked and he threw things when he was frustrated or whatever, if she grew up with a brother that did some of those behaviors, do you think she would have quit? No, because she would have known. Like, she knows, she's used to it. Like, and that's kind of where we're at with these rejections. Like, at some, familiarity. Like, at some point, you're going to get used to the no, and it's not going to be a problem anymore. And you're going to be able to push past it, and it's not going to be this, like, emotional tie. But, y'all, you got to get there. You've got to push through it. You can't slow down every time you hear a no. If Rosemary walked into my classroom today, pretended to be my para, and then quit because it was hard, and then 6 months later was like, okay, I'm gonna try it again. It's still gonna be hard. She didn't do crap. Like, she didn't try, she didn't give it a chance, she didn't try, she didn't show up, she didn't get used to it, right? She didn't like what I would say as a teacher, she didn't push past the behaviors to meet the child. She just saw the behaviors and ran away. And so, like, in this, like, you didn't push past the no's to get to the yes. You didn't get to the rewarding side of it yet. But if you stop at the no, you're never going to get to the yes. Ever. You're never going to get there. Like, you're never going to get, like, in my child thing, like, if you stop at the behaviors, you're never going to get to the child. And so there's so much reward that comes with the yes. There's the relationships. There's the life-changing, the text messages that I get from people that, like, thanks for believing in me. I just got it the other day. Thanks for believing me when I didn't believe in myself. Like, goosebumps. Y'all, like, you don't get to that part unless you push past the no. Like, you just have to get past the no. There is a book called Go for No. Have any of you read it? Caitlin, have you read Go for No? Oh, she can hear me. I haven't actually read it, but that's a really good book too. So if you are somebody that's really struggling and you, like, can't get past this, like, no, people telling you no, Go for No. It's a really good book. Yeah. It's all about, like, no's not now. It's no's not forever. It's just for now. That whole idea. Melanie Mitro, she has a lot of good podcasts on, like, rejection. So does Keisha Fitzpatrick, Rachel Hollis. Rachel Hollis has a lot of, like, other people's opinions doesn't matter of you. Sometimes you're scared to invite because you think they're gonna, like, not want to talk to you or they're whatever. There's a lot of good, like, content out there. I just, like, needed to kind of like you are gonna fail. People are gonna tell you no. Get that through your head. Push past that so we can get to the yes. You know, like, yeah. I just did a post about that. Other people's opinions are none of your business. Literally zero. All right. Does anyone have any questions? I mean, I kind of just preach at you, but if you have any, like, genuine questions about maybe a rejection that you had or a conversation that you had that you were like, okay, I get that, but this conversation was kind of hard to work through, or this type of rejection or objection was hard to combat, because a lot of times, I'm going to tell you, the reasons that people get no's more often or get ghosted or get more often have to do with the conversation after the initial invite. So sometimes it's like they give you an objection and you're like, okay. And, like, 9 times out of 10 when people tell you an objection, they kind of want you to fight back. Like, when I'm like, I don't know, like, somebody's, like, I said this other day, I think I said this to my Success Club people. I was like, somebody literally said to me, quote, I have too much weight to lose to do your workouts. And I was like, what? Like, if I would have just said, like, okay, that woman would have gone around thinking that she weighs too much to be part of this. And, like, that's not okay with me. And same with anybody else that says, like, it's money. And I get money is a legit excuse. Y'all, I don't know if you watched this. I shared something the other day. Money is a legit excuse. But if somebody is telling you money for months and months and months and months and months, it's now a priority issue, not a money issue. Like, yes, getting money together can be hard. But if it's like 7 months down the road and they still don't have the money, like, they could have saved $10 a month. Like, we could have got there. We could have got you in. And so think about the objection. So if there's an objection that maybe you have a hard time with, because you have to push back on these, you have to kind of, like, challenge objections. You've got to follow through with the conversations, follow up with the people. A lot of times that's kind of why people end up in the rejection boat. But if there's one that you kind of have that you get a lot that you would like to talk more about or anything like that. Yes, you should post all the time, Lacey. Thanks, Caitlin. You weren't on when I said this earlier, Caitlin, but I'm, like, in a mood today. So all the sass is out. So, $20 from check to afford it. Yes. Like, you had to save it. And I think that is real. That happens. Sometimes you can't do it right now, but you can later. You know, like, you can save for things like this. Any questions? Anything? No. Lacey, if you can hear me, I would love to see your face. Kaylin, come back so I can take a picture. Don't die. Are you driving? Okay, don't die. Lacey, can you hear me? Yes, it takes time, but people will watch you. Also remember that you are building relationships. We talk about this all the time. You're building relationships. All right. I take a picture. My dog is sitting in front of the litter box because, like, she wants to dig into it, but okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I lost you, Caitlin. Wait, do that again. Caitlin was, I'm assuming, talking to Jason. Is he there? Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Thanks for jumping on. I will post the recording maybe right now. And just a reminder that I will be at work tomorrow and forever now. So I will be like harder to get a hold of during the day. I will answer, we'll get back to you, but things like remember, gross. Remember, tomorrow is National Wake Up Call at 11 EST, whatever time that is. Anyone else's time? You figure out that math. 10, yeah, it's, I don't know, the East Coast is at 7. Whatever time that is for you, 11 a.m. if you can jump on, try to catch it. I don't know where I'll be at in life if I'll be able to share it until later, so try to catch it if you can. All right, I love y'all, and I will talk to you later. Bye!